Hi guys, I'm going to start this YouTube channel from scratch, just like I did my TikTok, since they want to ban TikTok. I'm Kalia, also known as Kalia Jane, and I thought I'd get on here to share my no contact journey and tell y'all how it's been, the healing process, and why I chose to go no contact. All right, back in December, it's been 2 years since I went no contact with my mother, my narcissistic mother. And it's been 2 years since this came up on that anniversary, the 2nd of December. So the 2nd of this month, it's been 2 years. Excuse me, my kids are playing a game and they get crazy. But anyways, I chose to go no contact because, trigger warning, my mother's ex-boyfriend SA'd me when I was 13 years old. I chose to keep that in until I turned 24. Actually, it was 25 when I told my mother. Yeah, I was 25. Because I didn't realize how much it was affecting me as a person. Like, I started becoming like an angry person. I was negative all the time. Like, I would push people away, self-sabotaging behaviors. My attitude was horrible. I treated people poorly. I had fell out with my ex-best friend, which I'm not gonna say I was all to blame for that, because the bitch had me fucked up. But I didn't have to say evil things to her, you know what I mean? I didn't have to do what I did and just say all types of effed up things to her, because she did not deserve that, and I did not mean any of those things that I said to her. It was just the heat of the moment. I was angry. And after I sent that last message to her, I realized that I sounded just like my mom. And I'm like, okay, I need to heal. Like, I need to dig into my past and heal. So I started with that. Like, I had a dream about him. And I'm like, God is showing me this is what I need to heal from. And disclaimer, my biological father, he SA'd me too. And my mother, she did what she had to do. She called the cops and wrote a statement. We took him to court. He got put in prison. But that's a whole nother story. So when she had met her ex-boyfriend, we gonna call him DeMonte, okay? So when she had met DeMonte, he came into our lives for a few years. We built trust with him. He wasn't the greatest person ever. He actually kind of sucked. He literally was a bum. And my mom, she still was in love with him. So we had to put up with him. And then one night he came into my room, and I remember this so vividly. He reached down and he SA'd me. And I chose to keep that in all those years because I didn't want to break my mother's heart. I did not want her to experience that same pain that she felt when I first told her when I was a little girl. Like, I remember the hurt in her ass. And I like seeing your mother hurt over something like that was very hard. Like, it's bringing up feelings from, like, I don't want to cry, but it was hard watching her get upset and having to put on the front like she wasn't affected by it because she still had to be a mom. You know what I mean? However, when he got locked up, she treated me like shit. Like, literally, she blamed me for it. But, so she treated me like she hated me. And me and my mother, 2 years ago, we finally came to a point where I felt like I was getting close to her. I felt like I could trust her, even though when I was 13 years old, I told her I promised myself I was never going to tell her any of these things and what her ex-boyfriend did, what DeMonte did to me, because I didn't want to break her heart. And I didn't think nobody would believe me. So I sent her that text message and I let her know what he had did, and she left me on red. Didn't respond. I didn't hear anything from her. Like, and then 2 months go by, she sends me a text, talk about something. How's my grandbabies doing? And I want to see my grandkids. I want to take them to Disney World. So I sent her a text message back and said, I told you what DeMonte did to me, and you didn't say anything to me. And then she texts back and said, I'm glad everybody's okay. Okay. And then from there, like, she would text every, like, once a month asking about my children. I'm not the type to withhold my kids from nobody. However, growing up, she treated me like shit. Why would I give you, after I told her what DeMonte did, in my head, I'm thinking, why would I give you the keys to treat my boys like shit too. Just because, I don't know, my mother is very spiteful. You know, she could be the type to treat them like shit. And one of my younger sisters recently just told me that she verbally abuses her kids too and treats her kids like crap too, like call them names and stuff. My mother is very colorist too. By the way, my sister, she has dark skinned children. She makes fun of their skin complexion just like how she did mine, which I would never understand because the bitch was way darker than my ass. The bitch damn near dark as this fucking turtleneck I got on. But anyways, yeah. So since then, like, I went back to therapy, and that journey was really rough because when I started EMDR therapy, like, it brought up a lot of trauma that I have been through in my life. Like, every session I would walk out crying. And then that same night I have nightmares and bad dreams, which, you know, I was told that was a good thing because it's bringing up things that I need to heal from. So, I processed a lot. During that time last year, I processed so many things. I wouldn't say I'm like 60% healed. I'm only gonna say 60% because there's some days where I struggle more than others. Like, this time of the year is very triggering for me. Now that I think about it, like, this time of the year is when my dad started SAing me when I was a little girl. This time of the year is when we got evicted. This time of the year is like when I had to hop from school to school to school. This time of the year is when my mom, she got arrested for identity theft and left us. She went to jail for 2 weeks, left us to fend for ourselves. Like, it's just so many things that happen around this time of the year throughout my life. And I think that's what causes my seasonal depression. Like, so, I don't know. Anyways, what I have done to, like, try to heal and try to get over my trauma is I started stepping into my creativity. When I was a little girl, I used to love to be in my arts and crafts, but that got snatched away from me when, you know, couldn't afford it. I started doing affirmations. Every day I wake up, I say affirmations, and then I go to sleep, I say affirmations. I started writing to God more. I have my journal where I write to the Lord. And I also wrote a book, Silence of the Scapegoat. I'm actively querying that book to agents in hopes of getting it published soon in the near future. And in that book, it's inspired by my inner child, by the way. And in that book, I'm just basically telling my story, you know. In that story, I'm telling what happened after my father got sent to prison, you know, the things that my mother has did to me and how I overcame everything. I even wrote about when DeMonte had did what he did when I was in the 8th grade. So, yes, that helped heal me a lot too, because I got it all out. You know, it's only so much you can say in therapy because sometimes you don't even have the words to say, but that helped me a lot. And I write poems a lot. I'm actively writing a poem book right now, and I finally came up with the name. So I'm not gonna disclose that name until I get the copyright for that book, okay? And my children's book, Artsy Aubrey, will be coming out next year. It's getting illustrated right now, so I'm very excited about that. So yeah, that has helped heal me a lot. Also, sometimes when I'm going through it, I give my boys a huge hug and picture little Kalia as, you know, them, and I just give them a huge hug to try to heal from that. I also walk a lot. Has helped me heal my trauma. Well, it's helping me, like, when I'm going through it. And also meditating, and that's helped a lot too. So yeah, there's a few things that I'm doing to heal that childhood trauma because I don't want to become anything like my mother. And it's so hard trying not to follow her ways and how hateful and evil and bitter and just negative she is. She's just such a negative person. And I'm so happy I took that step to finally break my silence, because holding all that in really was turning me into, like, I was looking at myself in the mirror like, what is wrong with me? And then one night God just showed me, like, he showed me in my dream, like, Demonte, he's like, you need to heal from this. Okay, start with this. And then I started with that, and it was just like peeling an onion after that. Like, I'm still healing for a lot of things. Certain stuff does come back up. And I'm in therapy again, but my old therapist, she retired. My new therapist, I ain't gonna speak too soon. Hopefully this works out, because I'm seeing a lot of videos to say, like, shop around for your therapist. Don't just settle for one if you're not really connecting with them. So I'm gonna give her another try when our next session come around. And if I'm feeling like I can't connect with her, I'm not about to pursue the relationship, because I'm trying to heal. Yeah, sorry, my phone just told me I have 10% left on my battery. So yeah, I just wanted to get on here, introduce myself, and I want this channel to consist on my mental health journey. I also struggle with complex post-traumatic stress disorder and depression. So I want to let everybody know who struggles with the same thing that you're not alone in this. And if you can't speak up and tell your story, I'm going to be the voice for you. Like, I want to heal the world, and I want people to express themselves through art, just like me. And I want people to express themselves through healthy coping mechanisms, because holding on to that trauma is going to turn you into such a negative Nancy. And I don't want anybody to turn into that, even though there's a lot of people walking around who's unaware of their behaviors. Hell, I even had to start forgiving my mother, which I have to do every single day, because, like, you know, who knows? She probably could have been through the same things as me, and she just didn't know how to she didn't know how to, you know, confront her trauma. She's not there yet. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get off of here and charge up my phone. I just wanted to come on here and just introduce myself and let y'all know y'all not alone. Y'all got this. We got this. We're going to get through all our trials and tribulations that life throws our way. Nothing is ever our fault. Anything like that is not our fault. And I used to always blame myself, because my mother used to blame me. And her voice became my inner critic. So I'm still learning how to deal with that. I'm still learning how to stop that inner critic, aka her voice. And I'm still learning. So as I'm learning, I want to teach others. So yeah. Bye.